If you could just introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Luigi.
Hi, I'm Rumi.
Hi, I'm Camille.
Hey, I'm Tisha.
I'm John.
The reason we chose to do the Nuffield research placement is at CISTIB we're very keen to be able to engage children and engage students and engage the wider community in the importance of the STEM subjects, so science, technology, engineering, maths, and to help them understand that it's no longer about distinct regions. You only do physics, you only do chemistry, but it's about this interdisciplinary nature and how this affects every walk of our life. So what did you guys expect from when you came to do a placement? Did you expect anything in particular?
I didn't actually realise it would be as complicated as it is, because I'd say what we're doing currently at A-level, for those of us doing A-level, I think it's not as straightforward as you think it is. There's actually a lot more complexity to it, as well as it is a research placement and you have to do the research yourself. As long as you're willing to put the work in, I think you'll be fine. But as well as supervisors are there to help you, and I think they're really good at helping you understand, like they won't let you fall behind.
I'd say the placement was kind of as I expected. I mean, it was a research placement, so we were asked to do research, and it was pretty difficult, but it is a university, so yeah, it was expected.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I expected before I came here. I just knew that I wanted to see how things work outside the classroom, so I guess.
The projects that we run weren't preset, weren't made, they were actually given to us by interested members of our group, PhD students actually, and there were 5 of them. They each presented their own project, they proposed it, we developed an initial pre-reading package, and then when it came to selecting students, we asked the students to write a personal statement, and then that was passed on to the supervisor, and the supervisors from the personal statement selected the student they wanted to work with. This helped us and create that professional feeling for the students. They were dealing with a proper application process, they were dealing with prepared research on current research. And this also gave the skills to the supervisors. We were able to say that they've worked in a professional recruitment or professional style of interacting with a student or interacting with another, when ensuring they meet their schedules and meet their deadlines, help set them up. So what did you guys do during your placement?
My research was based on looking at brain morphology using statistical shape models. So I had to design a statistical shape model using a software called MATLAB, which is used for data processing and manipulation. And basically, I had to look into statistical shape models and how they are made, what's used to make them, and what they're used for.
Cool. Anybody else?
Well, obviously being a research placement, I've had to do a lot of research, especially because of the fact that I have no background knowledge with the project that I'm doing, so I thought research might be. What I've done is I've watched my supervisor do his peel testing, which is quite a major part of the actual project that I'm doing, and from it to then go on to work out the widths and the lengths, and then be able to work out the area of that. I've used a software called Fiji, which allowed me to take the measurements for the width and the length of pictures that my supervisor had taken of the artery itself that he conducted the tissue, and from that I was able to put them into an Excel file and work out the thickness, work out the area of it, and compare my results to his data, which were actually really a lot more closer than I thought they would be. Then went on to track the markers and compared my results once again to my supervisor, and they turned out to be the exact same?
Sorry. My project is similar to Camille's. It's statistical shape models. Basically, I'm having to produce 2 statistical shape models of the lumbar spine. I've created segmentations using a software called Uniersity, which is developed by CISTIB, and yeah, I'm using that to create a statistical shape model. The statistics itself is actually done in MATLAB, and I think that I don't have much knowledge of how to compute, but I think that it would be helpful if you were to do it.
We were very happy with how it came out. We were able to see students grow, students who would never have touched any subject in their life be able to move on to apply what they learnt in one subject to our research, to write a report, to give some brilliant presentations when they were not used to presenting in terms of what we call a peer-reviewed audience. And also the reports, they were able to produce reports where they wrote scientifically, they referenced properly, and they have those skills to take forward, and they have the experience they had with us here to go on, learn new skills and be able to apply it, and they can send it in their UCAS applications. So how did you find working in university?
My experience working here was quite a good one. I enjoyed it because the research itself was difficult at first, but it did give me a lot of insight into what happens at the university and throughout the medical applications. I enjoyed the atmosphere at the university because we were given freedom into what we do, whereas in school we have planned lessons and a timetable, but we could just take breaks anytime we want.
I think building on the differences between school and university, university is a lot more independent, so I think you're expected to
do
go
your
out
own
and,
research.
for example, to go out and seek knowledge yourself, really. If you find the concept hard to understand, I think it's expected that you go and try to understand it before sort of saying, oh, I don't actually understand what this is, if that makes sense.
I also agree with Aligi. I think a university compared to a college or a sixth form, it's definitely got that more professional work environment. I mean, you are expected, you are an adult basically, you are expected to go out and do your own stuff. Everything is independent, whereas at a college or a sixth form you're always reliant and dependent on others, especially your teachers. Whereas here you kind of go out and find things out for yourself, you research it yourself. And if in need, you go and ask for help.
That might be different at undergraduate now, because we've been doing like postgraduate stuff.
Okay.
John, you got any comments?
I think working in a university is really different from working at school because the space is a lot wider and bigger than in school, and you can basically just go around and explore things.
No, don't worry, it makes perfect sense.
I think
Right.
To just before we finish, I think that not to scare you, but you can ask for help, of course, if you are stuck. It's not like you are going at it alone entirely, and you can't seek advice from anyone. People are there to help you. So, yeah.
Okay, the $1 million question I think that needs to be asked. Do you prefer university style of working or school?
Good question, because I'm not very good at working.
I'm a
like
big
that.
baby, I need to be spoon-fed. But I don't know, because there's actually, it's debatable,
Yeah.
I'd say.
I'm not sure I've spent enough time in a university environment to actually say that I prefer one or the other. They're very different as well, like apples and oranges, really.
I prefer the sort of layout, like you can go and get coffee and have breaks whenever you want, but I prefer to have someone help teach me with it because I'm not very good at researching it by myself.
I think it's all down to the individual because with all the freedom that you do get, I think a lot of people do tend to take advantage of that. Whereas with it being a college or a sixth form, you've got quite strict rules you stick to. Yeah.
So would you say you've got a better appreciation of what it's like to work in a professional environment where you're more responsible for yourselves?
Yeah,
Definitely.
Think that's going to help when you go to university?
probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
a
think-
big part of working in a university is enjoying the topic, because then you'd actually want to do it. And I mean, you go to university to do something specific, so you got to enjoy it to do it. Whereas college, you just got to get through and get your grades.
And I think not only with it helping you towards university, I think with you being able to practically do what you want, I think it helps with your time management. Like I think it certainly helped me with my time management because with no one telling me what I have to do, I kind of have to find out for myself and know what's best for me.
We're very happy with how the Nuffield experience went and how it was the support we got from Nuffield. We were able to organise them to have the students to be able to have university access, to be able to see the one university, to be able to work in the environment, give them the software, but also be sure that they had the support they needed to get here. They had the support to understand with their reports how to publish them. So we're very happy with the support we got from Nuffield.
Working with a supervisor is quite different, to be honest. I think it takes a while to establish a rapport or an understanding of how your supervisor works. So for me, we had to take some time to just sort of explain my learning style and then make it easier for me to understand what was being said and understanding the topics, because they're quite difficult. So if you sort of, it's not like school where it's easier to just find out information, you can ask a classmate. A lot of the things that we did, that I'm doing in my research project, it's not particularly widely available online to just sort of browse through and get a general idea. It's very in-depth, so you want that extra support from your supervisor, but in order to get that, you have to establish some form of learning style that suits you best.
I think it also helps if they can give an idea of where to start with, where to research, or give you an idea of where to look, or give you ideas for how to search properly for the right things. Because then it makes your research easier, and it's easier to citate and reference them in your report.
Working with someone who has already had a lot of experience on the project you're working on can be quite tough because you're like very ignorant somehow, and but I found that my supervisor is really nice and he teaches me a lot of things that I didn't know before. So I quite enjoy working with my supervisor.
So do you think this experience of working with a supervisor might help you like in teamwork exercises and stuff you do maybe back at school, or does it make you understand your teachers a bit differently?
I wouldn't particularly say that it's similar as working in a team because I think in a team it's you all start at the same level and you all work together to then get to the next level. But I think with a supervisor, he's there to help you get to the next level, and it's basically someone for you to rely on. I'd say it's kind of like a teacher in a way, but more of a one-to-one rather than a large group of us.
Would you ever think, say, let's see in the future of you doing your degree, becoming PhDs, if you had the opportunity to be a supervisor? I know this is a long way off, but would you even consider it for like a Nuffield project yourselves?
I think it would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
As long as you have the enough experience to like be able to teach someone else from it, then
I don't think I would, because I'm bad with children. I can't teach people really.
I think it's quite hard to sort of get a feel for what level someone at a lower, who's got this knowledge in one topic is at, for example. Sorry, can you cut that and restart that, because I didn't start properly.
So how did you all find meeting a professor and getting to actually sit down and talk with him?
I think that was actually quite a good opportunity to ask questions, anything that you were unsure about the university itself and the department itself. I'm not gonna lie, I was quite nervous about meeting him because, as you see in American movies, the professors aren't exactly the kindest. But I could definitely say he proved me wrong. He turned out to be really nice.
Now listen to the students. While you were here, you were put through a lot. You learnt a lot. You achieved a great deal. And I know more than once you were made to sit in front of a camera to do this video, and to stand up in front of an audience of strangers who are specialists in the subjects and have a deeper knowledge than you. All I would like to say to the students is you did fantastically. Your presentations are great, your reports were great, and we hope that this experience is good. You can take it forward. Would you recommend doing a placement to other people thinking of going into engineering?
Yeah, I'd recommend it because it gives you a lot of insight into what happens at the university doing research, and it gives you insight into other parts of engineering as well, whereas we just do it like mechanical, and this is more biomedical. Also, it's a nice experience because working in school and college, you just have classes and teachers, but here you actually go out independently researching a topic you're given.
I'd recommend a Nuffield placement, but on the basis that the person actually knows and has some idea of what they've actually chosen. So you're better off, if you want to do a Nuffield placement, choosing a placement in an area that interests you, because you have to invest a lot of time and do a lot of work, things that you not have any really prior knowledge of. So yeah, that's what I believe. I think if you want to do a Nuffield placement, do a lot of prior research, perhaps drop into the department and have a little bit of a look around, see exactly what goes on, so that you can make a more definitive decision.
Yeah, that was the other part I was going to say. You don't get to pick what you're researching, so you might not enjoy it. When I first got here, my research title was actually the wrong one, so it got changed. I thought it was going to be virtual reality surgical simulation, and I was quite disappointed because it sounded interesting and then it got changed to something less interesting. So when I got here, yeah, I wasn't looking forward to it, but then when I just started doing it, I realised that it has a lot of uses and it's interesting. But for someone who's going to do a research placement, it's a good idea to have a look at what the research is about, and enjoying it is a major factor to getting the most out of the placement.
I think I would definitely recommend this placement because I personally feel that there are some great opportunities with this. You basically get to see things that you would never probably see in a college, and if you were, then you were lucky. But I mean, I'd say that this placement isn't particularly the easiest thing. So I'd recommend it to people who are interested in a bit of a challenge, who tend to challenge themselves a lot, because it is quite hard and it is rather complex, especially for the first week or so when you're first being introduced to it. But I'd agree with Eligi and Camille that you should definitely make sure it is something that you are interested in and that you're willing to put in the time and the effort for it. Because if not, then you may think a lot of people may not see the benefits of it, whereas for me personally, I feel that this has given me more of a more of an idea as to what it might be like in the future, what university will be like, and it's basically given me that sense of independency. Independent, yeah.
I think it's good because it helps with your personal qualities as well, like your researching abilities and your teamwork and your communication. Because before you meet your supervisor, you've got no idea what they're like or how they're going to teach you or anything like that. And then once you've met them, you can work on communicating better with them and understanding them more.
I would recommend this Nuffield placement to my other friends because it is a really good experience and it has been a good time to work in here, and I think I didn't waste my summer in here.
I think that if you are going to take do a replacement, I think that you have to be will have to be very patient because the topics, as we've all mentioned, are very complex in comparison to A levels, on a whole new level, and you have the people who are doing the research are perhaps 6 years ahead of you. So yeah, patience is key.
I'd like to pick up on what Ruby said and the whole communicating thing. I think it does help your communication skills because if you think about it, on the internet there's not actually a lot of in-depth details to the specific project that we're doing. So I won't say you're kind of forced to, but the only other option is to go and talk to someone in that field. And I think with your supervisor and obviously your supervisor's peers, I think that is your other way of finding out any information which is suitable to your project. So I think it kind of, definitely me, I think it kind of built up my confidence to go out to people and ask them questions.
Yeah, even if you do find a paper online, you probably won't understand it at first, so you're going to have to go and ask your supervisor or some other researcher for help to explain it, so yeah.
And I think it helps with confidence as well, because you're meeting new people and we're meeting older people who you might be a bit intimidated of, and makes you realise that they're just as bad as you are.
I think also a side note, it's completely different to what's been said previously. I think you need to take into account that this may be the first time your supervisor's had to interact with someone who's younger than them and sort of like teach someone who's younger than them that doesn't actually have any knowledge of the topic. So it is quite a slow process initially, trying to establish a sort of, as I keep saying, understanding.
We are planning to do more Nuffield placements in the future. Working on the feedback that we got in this round of projects, we're looking to next year hopefully be able to offer several projects, maybe across the board. So if you're interested in a Nuffield research placement, keep your eyes out. CISTIB might be appearing again, and hopefully if you do come along, we're very welcome to have you here and we hope you have a good time.